The Rising of the Shield Hero was one of 2019's most popular shows. While it had often gone skipped over for adaptation in the past, the light novel was a hit globally. The show will be returning later this year for its second season, so here's 5 things you need to know about The Rising of the Shield Hero. Before Kadokawa got involved, Shield Hero started out on the novel publishing site Shousetsuka ni Naro, kind of like fanfiction.net but for original stories. This was the crisis point for the explosion of isekai popularity that exists today, but back in 2012, author Aneko Usagi was actually nervous to write an isekai fantasy based on their experience playing Ragnarok Online, because they thought it would be too niche. But in reality, they'd actually struck when the iron was hot, as many other writers were also writing game-like isekai stories around the same time, shaping the image of the site. And like other stories written around the same time like Re:Zero and Konosuba, they got publishing deals a couple years later. They reunited in the show Isekai Quartet. Kadokawa publishes The Rising of the Shield Hero, but it wasn't their idea to make it into an anime. Crunchyroll had been investing in anime series, but Rising of the Shield Hero was important in that it was a large Kadokawa property that one of Crunchyroll's staff members put forward. This is a part of a long-standing relationship between the two companies, while also being a big step into establishing the Crunchyroll Originals brand. For a writer, it's got to be strange seeing your work adapted to screen. Aneko Usagi only had one meeting with the anime staff before they went on to create the show, and besides that, there wasn't much interaction. In a later interview, Usagi said they enjoyed it, but when they saw the storyboards, they found it strangely unfamiliar. Of course, readers are always going to visualize stories in their minds, but in the process of adaptation, you're trusting the anime staff's interpretation. They also found that the impression of the characters was different from their original ideas, but once again, that's just part of the process, and the fact that Usagi only did one meeting means that they were comfortable with the fact that it may not be the exact same. One of the big names on Rising of the Shield Hero was Australian composer Kevin Penkin. He mostly works with the staff at Kinema Citrus on shows like Norn 9, Made in Abyss, and now Rising the Shield Hero. There was a lot of press with the Shield Hero creators, and every time anyone brought up Kevin Penkin's music, they had nothing but great things to say. In fact, the director also worked with Penkin on Norn 9, and so the entire team has had the opportunity to see how his music has evolved from project to project, always a step away from what we'd normally consider anime-esque sounds. Frequently brought up is the insert song at the end of episode 4, with Made in Abyss vocalist Amelia Jones. One of the distinctive features of the light novel is that in some ways it reads like a let's play of an RPG, detailing all the numbers and statistics as Naofumi levels up with his shields. So in the anime, all of this gets adapted into on-screen details in the compositing. It's not exactly the smoothest form of storytelling in the book, but it's something fans like to keep track of, so they worked to make it a diegetic part of the world and made sure you always see the moment he gains a new skill, even if it's just a part of the floating text. Thanks for watching OTAQUEST in Japan. Feel free to subscribe to find out more about the art and creation of Japanese pop culture.